Not even. Why?
Because I fucked up and forgot to switch back from my stationary mic on Sunday. But they can now. Techie's a bitch.
God
Techie's a
damn it.
bitch. Techie's a bitch. A bitch, bitch, bitch. A bitch, bitch, bitch. A bitch, bitch, bitch. A bitch, 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 bitch.
And just like that, the podcast is canceled.
Well, you guys heard him. Sorry. Techie's being a
Garrett,
bitch.
Garrett went and ruined it all.
Techie's being a bitch. So we gotta cancel now. Sorry guys, we're gonna tell you all kinds of cool shit today, but Techie's being a bitch, so we gotta cancel. Sorry. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Now you're terrible and uncalled for.
Well, thanks. I was an accident. So.
God. So this is how today's gonna go.
Yeah, basically. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Sorry we haven't posted anything all week. I fucked up my hand at work, or somewhere. I don't know how I did it exactly. I just know I can't hold a controller or a keyboard properly.
How
So.
does one hold the keyboard?
Okay, sorry. I can't press the keys right because it's my left fucking hand. If it was my right hand,
Yeah.
I'd be fine because my hand will work on the mouse. That would be fine. But my hand's too fucking bulky right now. I can't push the keys.
Time to try switch hand. That would be horrible. I would never recommend that.
Well, I could switch my fire and aim down sights buttons to one of my keys and then just put my mouse under my right arm and just hit the keys on my keyboard. It's too much programming and retraining that I would have to do. Fuck that.
Too much work, not enough reward.
Yeah, I mean, if we were getting paid for this, yes, I would do it. But we're not yet.
Not yet.
So keep hitting the subscribe button. Check out our channels, like our videos, please, please, please.
Share the videos too.
Yeah, share them, share them. Check out my TikTok. I haven't posted anything this week, but I'm normally pretty good. I'm gonna post. Do you want me to send you a copy of it? I'm gonna post Raven's fucking magic sweep that he did the other night when he just fucking annihilated everyone. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, check out my last video, Magic the Gathering tabletop. Logan fucking killed everybody in one sweep.
Yeah.
Literally everyone.
I tried to warn them. I always try to warn them.
I knew he could do it, and I wanted to see it. Otherwise, I could have fucked him over 50 times sideways to where he couldn't have. But for the views, I wanted it to happen.
I warned the other players, like, hey, kill Logan, otherwise he'll kill you. And
Nobody listens.
Nah, nobody listens. Nobody ever listens.
I mean, Ben did. Ben did. Ben did really good.
Ben knows.
Yeah, Ben fucking knows. He knew what Logan put into his deck, and he's just like, yeah, you need to go first, and then after you, I'll worry about the land destruction burn deck. Hi. Slivers first, land destruction second.
Yeah. I still need to refine the deck that I
started last night.
Modify. Well, I got it down to a 60 card deck from a commander.
But now you need to play it and see how it plays out, so you can revise it.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the cards that I took out of it are ones that like I didn't really think I would use, and I ended up adding a bunch of those back in because the cards that I definitely wanted to keep were not enough.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, and then I started building another deck on the side. So
you need to swap some of those for some counters. Remember.
I need to put counters in the new deck.
Well, the library is sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I was gonna do that last night, but I wasn't thinking about it.
Maybe after this video. By the way, guys, we're gonna be moving, so we're probably gonna be offline for a little while. Like, we're still gonna be gaming and stuff, we're just not gonna have the internet capacity for a little while to stream. So unfortunately, the next few days is the last few videos for a little while, just for a little while.
I mean, we could probably pre-record stuff.
I'm gonna try to. I gotta get some hard drive cleared up on my PC before I can do that, but definitely gonna try to.
Something that I kind of think we could do is use the PlayStations and their share button feature and make some videos with that.
I would rather record with OBS and post.
Oh, I absolutely would rather record with OBS all day, but I don't even have the space for recording. That's why I do live stream.
That's why I'm going through my external hard drive, because there's some stuff on there I can get rid of, and then I'll have room to do that.
Because my goal would be to like have pre-recorded content go up throughout the week or whatever, and live stream mostly on the weekends.
If we have the
That
availability.
that would be the ideal like format for my channel. That's kind of what I've been wanting to work towards. But I just don't have the space for the games and the recordings. So I live stream everything that I want to put on my channel. But with my PlayStation, if I double tap the share button, it starts a recording. I can record up to 1 hour given the recording system that it has. So I can make a video that's half an hour long of whatever game, clip it, send it into I forgot the name of the app on the PlayStation that lets you edit videos, but I'll slap it into there, put some edits on it, and I can post it from there. All on the PlayStation, all in 1080p. So like I won't suffer from any resolution loss from my content. And yeah, like the games that I play on PC, like most pretty much all of them I still have like on my PlayStation. I just prefer to play on PC. So I have options for content making, and I
I
will
do
probably
too.
utilize them.
I do too. But I'm probably gonna try and stick more to pre-recording and uploading through my PC. Whether or not that means I have to clear some stuff off for a little while, I will.
Yeah,
But
see, I don't like this whole uninstall reinstall debacle that I keep like. Yeah, so until I upgrade my hard drive, I am not going to be doing any pre-recorded content on my PC.
was
I can still get my intro video. I think I still have my intro video file on the video editor on my PlayStation. So literally, at a glance, like there won't be much of any difference between a video that I would make on here on this PC than on my PlayStation. So
I'm trying
I'm gonna work with
to.
what I got.
I understand that, and I'm not saying like I'm against it. I'm just saying like I'm trying to get more into learning of higher quality video editing,
Yeah,
so that way I
and
can kind of dabble in that, and this is a good opportunity for me to do that.
well, funny enough, any video that I would record on my PC, I would offload onto my iPad for editing because I have LumaFusion, which is a highly recommended iOS video editing app, and I've used it on a few videos, quite a few videos that I've done in the last couple of years, or the last year or so, and they've all come out great. You can edit up to 4K, like it's just great. Like there's a couple videos that are like Fortnite or whatever that I've played on my PC in 4K, and I was able to make a 4K video, which I can't stream in 4K, so like literally the only 4K content on my channel has been made through the LumaFusion editor app on my iPad. So,
And see,
and I could go through that entire debacle to get anything off my PlayStation onto my iPad that way and edit it through LumaFusion. But the thing is, like, the video is recording on the console at 1080p, so I'm not gonna try to upscale that to 4K. That's just gonna go awry. So literally, the video editor on uh the PlayStation can do everything that I want to do with a video of any of the caliber that I'm going to be making on it. So that whole like 5-step debacle that it would take to offload it onto my iPad from the PlayStation, not worth it. I'll just edit it on the PlayStation, upload it on the PlayStation. Like it can all be done on the console itself. So yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I guess it's technically backtracking. Sorry about your interrupting you.
You're good. You keep talking. I'm just clearing stuff.
Okay. Like I know it's technically a backpedal from like where I was at because like I haven't done like the entire process on my PlayStation for quite some time now. In fact, I believe the last time I did all of it was like right after I got the PlayStation 4 Pro. Like most of the ones that I did that way were on the PlayStation 4 Slim. So those were 720p videos, which they were decent for what they were.
And like this,
Uh,
we're not saying that we're not trying to make stuff better, or this or that. You know, we're trying
and
to
this
make
is
the best out
temporary.
of a very tough situation.
Yeah.
I guess is the best
And
way I can describe it.
once we do get into a new place, like you'll definitely know because like I'm gonna do my best to get a house tour video in, and I'll probably share the file with Garrett so he can have that video on his channel as well.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna show
after you see,
we're gonna show what we're doing the new place off. You know, obviously,
yeah,
kind of. By the way, you realize your cover art for this is Call of Duty Cold War, right? Off, you know,
yeah, it
obviously,
is.
kind of. But
Should
anyways, we're trying to make a good situation out of a shitty situation that we're in currently. You there?
yeah, I'm here. I just was updating the thumbnail in real time. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
I'm not gonna lie. All of my thumbnails are the background
yeah, I've noticed.
on mine right now. I'm like, you know what? This is
Yeah,
cool art. I'm gonna use it.
yeah. But after the you guys in the audience see like a house tour video, like expect things to shortly return back to the way they are now with like PC, OBS, all that stuff. It'll just take a little bit after that video goes up for us to have everything set up and everything like that, because I am going to record that video when the place itself is bare bones. Like we haven't put anything in it yet, and we'll be like, this is where this will go, this is where that will go. Like that way, it's like super clean, presentable, like, cause
we'll
our
we'll
cable
we'll
management and
literally
some of our
probably
desks are
we'll
not
we will more
neat.
than likely do a make the video on the day that we start moving stuff in
Yeah, but
because
before we move anything in.
yeah, like like before we bring even a box in, we're gonna do the video and then we're gonna make the video and then we're gonna start moving stuff in. So literally, the
And
day
it,
that that gets posted will more than likely be the day that we move in.
yeah. And if we do have our entire setups done in that same day, I might record like another clip to go in the video of like, hey, this is how it all looks together, and then that'll be the end of the video or something like that. I don't know. Well, like I know for a fact like we are gonna do the bare bones tour, but like it all depends on how fast we get everything set up and how everything goes after that
Yeah,
is whether or not there'll be more to that video. And who knows, maybe we'll make a follow-up video on the setup being done if it doesn't get done that day.
I mean,
We'll
I wouldn't
see.
mind
Like
doing
there's no
like
telling.
I wouldn't mind an office build video. You know what I mean? Just kind of show off,
See that?
us putting together our massive fucking offices and putting everything together. Especially mine because I have the live podcast area behind me where we do our magic and stuff. That's literally right behind my desk. Like,
Yeah, like if he scooted like a foot back from his desk, he'd bonk into the coffee table. That's all. That's the magic stream.
dude, I lean back and my backrest literally lays on the corner of the desk or on the corner of the podcast table.
If my office had the space, like it would probably be down here, but it's his office has the space.
My office is massive.
My office is also my kitchen.
Mine has a fridge in it, a bigger fridge
Mine
than
has,
yours.
well, yeah, but mine's a little mini fridge. It's got a microwave. It's got food.
Do you
Got
have
drink.
chicken? Do you have chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna?
I have some lunch meat.
No hot
It's
dogs.
turkey though.
No hot dogs. No chicken wings. Y'all hear that? Kind of office you got.
And it's not even bologna. It's turkey. It's not even turkey bologna. It's just like turkey in the shape of bologna. Because that stuff's good.
We live very sad lives, and I'm just realizing that.
No. It's like I choose to buy. Like if I went grocery shopping and bought like all the stuff like you'd expect to see in a kitchen area or whatever like that, it's like I probably wouldn't get around to eating most of it. It's like, yeah, I buy ramen cups. Yeah, I buy sandwich stuff. But that's because that's what I'm gonna fix and that's what I'm gonna eat. Like, it's not that I can't afford something better. It's like don't want to. I don't want like uh, my mini fridge doesn't have a freezer in it. Otherwise, I would have like TV dinners and stuff like that up the wazoo as well. Like those are things that I like to eat. Those are things that I like to buy and quickly fix and eat
And
and
see, this
just
is where Techie and I vary because my everyday job is a cook at a restaurant.
yeah.
I like real food.
And you like to cook. See,
I do. I like to
I
cook a
don't.
lot.
I like to pop it in the microwave and then eat it. My food needs are very simply met, and thus for my grocery shopping is very simply done.
By the way, what I just typed in your chat, that's exactly how I meant it. Electronic hooker.
Why? Why, SpongeBob? Why?
Well, you know you can put somebody in timeout, but you know that if you put me in timeout, I'll just go to another account that I already have.
Have I made you a moderator?
I don't think you did.
No, I really should.
Why?
Because like anyone that I do streaming stuff with needs like should be a moderator. Because they're part of like my streaming ecosystem, and thus for should have the moderator capability. Okay, you don't need to do that.
I'm sorry. I had to. That was just, whew, that was funny. I don't know how to do that, otherwise I'd have already, you probably already set one up.
There's
Set
probably a
yourself up
three
as
dot. There's three dots that show up next to a message, and it's like how the timeout and stuff works. On the bottom, it should say "Add moderator." So
okay. Well, you barely ever comment on my videos, so.
I can comment on it quick. I need to turn my volume down so you don't hear it.
On, while Techie's doing this and while I'm making him a moderator on my channel, one thing I want to boast about is last Sunday we did the Magic game that turned out really well. We had a lot of people show up to play. We had a lot of friends come by. Like it was, it was a lot of fun. And they were talking about it at the card shop yesterday. Um, and there was a lot of people going, this is a lot of fun. We need to do this again. So that's something that is going to be a lot more on my channel. I'm gonna try to do more because, like, even though Techie doesn't always get along with his brother, it was nice to finally meet Kenneth, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. you know. So, and Raven, if you're watching, you're a douche. And now I have to fix my deck again so I can beat your ass again. You there, Teggy?
Yeah, I'm here. I was
Okay.
just replying to Shelby.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are you glad you got to spend some time with her last night?
Yes, and she's very glad as well. In
Okay.
fact, that night, last night made her whole day, so
Good.
she's had a really good mood today, and as am I.
Good.
It was much needed.
Well, I was glad I could help.
Yeah,
So let's be honest, you wouldn't have went or wouldn't have been able to go if I didn't take you.
that's usually how it goes. I usually don't get there unless for work without someone taking. Mostly you.
Without needing help.
Yes.
But I'm glad you guys had a good time yesterday. Work sucked,
Yeah.
but that's how it always is. It's work.
Yeah, work is work.
Work is
Unless
work is
this
work.
being work. Unless this is our work, and then it will no longer be sucky, because then we'll be doing what we love.
I mean, I don't hate my other job.
Uh,
Like, I consider this a job,
but
but
I consider this a work in progress, which
same. I really believe that this is a more of a startup company,
yeah.
and we would like it to take off and like it to be bigger and like it to be a full size company. But right now, I'm
Oh,
still content with this being, you know, what it
yeah,
is.
like I've every stage, every step that I've taken in the last several years that I've been doing this has been satisfactory. Like I'm like everything, every time I improve something, every time I do something new or different, like I'm I'm proud of it.
Let's
I
just be
like the
honest.
progress that I'm making.
Let's just be honest that you're just extremely excited that you finally found somebody else that wants to take this to a level of the same as you.
You have no idea how how ecstatic I am about that concept, because like I've had several people who like have joined me throughout the years, and like they don't match the same desire to do this. Like yeah, it's fun they say, but like they
They
haven't gone full bore.
they
Like some
haven't
have
ask
said they have
Techie, tell everybody how far I've come in the last year and a half of streaming into wanting
a
this.
lot,
I
a
went
whole
I
lot.
went from having an Xbox One S on a shitty 720p TV to having a PC, a PS1 or an Xbox One S, a PS4 that is technically Jacob's because lost mine due to issues with other people.
Drama.
Yeah, and two 1080p monitors. One of them being them an actual PC monitor, like, and two desks versus a fucking TV stand in the middle of my bedroom where I didn't even have room for a laptop to sit and have my fucking channel up so I could watch my chat. I used to watch my chat on my cell phone,
I used to do that quite a bit too. That's
but
before I integrated my iPad into my system because I hadn't had a third monitor technically since I had an actual
you realize
monitor.
streaming is the only reason I got that iPhone, right? You realize that,
I'll
correct?
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
That is the only reason I ordered a new iPhone. I'm not a big iPhone person. I'm not a big Apple product person. I do like the iPads.
Well, the iPad is definitively the best
Yeah,
tablet on the
I'm not
market.
gonna
Like,
lie.
there's no arguing that.
Android, you gotta step the fuck up on your tablets.
Like, they basically just slapped the phone operating system on a tablet and
Well,
just expect it to work
actually,
without much formatting. And
I didn't really have a problem with that Windows tablet I had.
well, Windows tablet is like Windows tablets are different because like they're practically just a PC, just stripped of a lot of its main components. Still completely functional, and you can download pretty much anything that you would on a PC. It's just like it lacks the PC power. Like
Right, but
you're limited by the specs.
the only reason I would actually get another one is for Team Link, so
You
I can
can get a Team Link on an iPad.
I understand that, but like I like the Windows look a little bit better, and plus it has USB plugs, so I can literally sit there with a keyboard and mouse and play from my tablet. First, I have to worry about Bluetooth,
Yeah.
because then I can run
Like,
corded.
yeah, but the thing is, like, you can't play a whole lot of games on a Windows tablet. Like, they're very limited. Like, most of the games that are available on Windows 10 and PC are just not
I'm not gonna deny that,
are
but
too much for the
as long as
the
I have Team Link, I'm fine. And on that Windows tablet that I had, I used to play World of Warcraft on that.
yeah, well, World of Warcraft's not that high intensive of like
It's not very demanding on the
component.
software.
Yeah, it's not a very demanding game. You'd be able to play WoW. You'd be able to play Minecraft. You'd be able to play
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
So
Like,
that would
you'd be able to play
justify,
Among Us.
right? But I could also run OBS with it
That's where you probably get
to
like because
record.
OBS. I don't
To
think you realize.
record.
No, I don't think you realize how much demand that OBS alone puts on a machine for streaming or recording. In fact, recording puts more stress than the
Okay,
streaming
probably not then, but I could
because
still I could still have access to my files and stuff and not have to run Team Link all the time.
but
Is
like
what I like about it.
on a tablet, like ooh, recording it converts what your like the graphics card is doing, compiles it into a file and like compiles it onto your computer. That's a lot more stress on your components and a lot more like
Speaking of which, you know what we haven't
processing that
touched
gets
in a
done.
while that we really need to?
But
COD Mobile.
yeah,
We haven't touched that in
well, we
almost
can
a
get into
year.
that during our transition phase from place to place. We'll probably tap into that a little bit because we won't have a whole lot else to do. So
True, true. We will probably be doing a lot more mobile stuff.
yeah. But with back to OBS real quick. It's like OBS when it live streams, it just takes what you're doing and just puts it out. Like it's not trying to stuff it into the computer itself, so it's a lot less like stress on the actual computer.
Right.
It's just like basically just chucking into the web space instead of like trying to stuff it into itself.
S-
So yeah. One of
s-
the reasons that early on, like when I started streaming a lot more, was because my games and stuff would start lagging up a storm trying to record. As soon as I hit the record button, everything just goes. But if like I was streaming, everything was fine at that point. I was like, okay, well, I obviously know which one's harder on the computer now.
Holy shit!
And then like after like looking into it, I found out why. But
Did you know Epicam connected to Discord?
Epicam it can be used as a webcam
No,
universally
it
across
just
pretty much every.
automatically connected to
Mm.
mine. Like I never actually went and set it up. I was just kind of curious and got to looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's this?" And
Yeah, but like Epicam can completely replace webcam, like a webcam completely. That's its job. And being as that I like we have iPhones and stuff, like that's a very high
by the
quality
way,
camera
Epic
or
Epicam
webcam.
Epicam is the only reason I got the new iPhone. That's the software that we use for like when you're if you go back and see any of the magic videos I've done, those
That was
are
done shot on iPhone,
yes, it
processed
was.
through Epicam onto
It
OBS
was
and brought.
shot. That was shot on iPhone 8 Plus.
Well, one of them was like on 11 or 12 on my 12 Pro Max. Like
The first one was on
yeah.
12, on your 12.
Yeah, but all of these cameras, all these back cameras are capable of 4K. I don't remember whether or not the 8 Plus was one of the first
No,
ones to do
no,
4K 60 frames, but
no. I believe it was the 9
there was no 9.
or the 10. Was that what came after it?
The 10 came out with it, but it was the first one that looks like the no home button notch at the top
I
one.
believe that was the first one, but I know it wasn't the
I
8.
believe it, but
I know it wasn't the 8. Otherwise, my video quality last Sunday would have been a lot better.
anywhere after the 7 Plus and before the 11, I've kind of gotten lost on in specs because I never owned any of those in between devices. I had the 7 Plus for 3 years and then got the 11. and now have the 12 Pro Max. The 11 and the 12 Pro Max both definitely do 4K 60.
I
So
just ordered the SE,
I believe that
so
also does it because it came out pretty
2020.
recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it said
it's
last.
like it's
I think it came out the same. I think it either came out last spring or it came out last winter with the iPhone 12. I'm not for sure.
if I no it I'm pretty sure it was spring.
Might have been.
Um, if I remember correctly, it's a lot of the internals of like the 10 or 10s, maybe even the 11 in the shell of the 8 Plus that you currently have. So like they did the same thing with the original SE because the SE that you're getting is the second generation of the SE. The first one was the iPhone 6s specs in an iPhone 5s shell. So, like, it was above and beyond what the 5S was by a lot, uh, in the same form factor, which I thought was great. I was like, I loved the iPhone 5 design, and the iPhone 5S design is really close to it. So I love that design, and I'm glad that the flat side design made a return with the 12 series. So I get somewhat of that iPhone 5 vibe from it. So I really like the flat edges. Like the curved edges were cool. Like when the 6 came out, the curved edges were cool. It felt nice in the hand, everything. And every time I still use my uh 11, the case that I have on it still has the curves along with the actual side of the phone, which my 7 Plus has a flat edge uh case, even though it has rounded edges on the phone. But anytime I use my 11, I get reminded like, yeah, that was smooth, that was nice, but like I really like the flat sides more. But I guess I'm just really happy to still have both devices, cuz like I can experience either whenever I want, and that's nice. But the SE2 technically what a lot of people dub it, but it they just labeled it the SE just like they did the first version. Is basically going to look like, well, actually it's going to be the size of the 8, not the 8 Plus. But it's essentially going to be like just a slightly smaller version of what you have on the outside, but it's going to run so nicely on the inside. Hello?
I'm here. Sorry, I got distracted by something.
Oh, now I was curious to why they didn't do an SE Plus to have like the Plus phone users also satisfied, but the SE is a what is dubbed a budget phone. It is like it's an entry level price iPhone. It's for the deal consumers and stuff like that. That way Apple still has a market in the lower price range, which
Which I am
for what
part
they're
of.
offering, like you're getting yours through a contract deal, which is for practically nothing if I'm right.
Yeah.
Uh yeah. Standalone, it's like $400, which no smartphone of that caliber is really going to be in the $400 and under range. Like that, they as soon as they released it, everyone was just like, "How did they produce something this good for only this much?" Like they should not have like had a device like up to this level of like specs for this price range. Well, I think it boils down to the fact that Apple's a billion-dollar company and they can just do that if they want.
Which
So
they do.
yeah, it's like it's not necessarily they're not trying to make a profit off of the SE necessarily. They're more or less just trying to get a wider user base. Like if they can get the lower end budget consumers in on the Apple ecosystem, then they'll be likely to buy the the Apple Watch SE They might get like an iPad to go with. They might even buy a MacBook down the line. They might save up for a MacBook. Like the Apple ecosystem, like a lot of people call it a walled garden. A lot of people call it like once you're in, like you're trapped to only using Apple products just because of how convenient they work together. And it's like I can see that aspect of it, but when it boils down to it, like I'd rather have things that work together like that than things that don't. Like I have certain integrations or whatever between my computer and iCloud and stuff like that, so I can get a little bit of compatibility across those. Anything that I save into my iCloud folder on my PC will sync to all of my Apple devices. So let's say I record a video on OBS like today, and it's like a 30-minute video. If I move that video file
I just sent
to
you. I just sent you a single piece for the Anarch discussion because like I'm gonna re thumbnail mine with that.
okay, um, like anything that I save to my iCloud folder will be almost immediately accessible depending on the internet connection. Almost immediately accessible on my iPhone 11, my iPhone 12 Pro Max, my iPhone 7 Plus, my iPad, and technically even my old 2009 MacBook, if if that thing still runs properly. I don't know. I haven't turned it on in a while.
I think so.
Yeah. It all depends on whether it syncs up correctly or not. It's old. It still functions. Last I checked.
It's last you checked.
Well, last I checked, it was like maybe last year. Like every so often I boot it up. It needs to be on power though, because the battery is absolute garbage on it. But a lot of the Macs were that case for like the longest time. But that's part of the reason why the original MagSafe charger was invented. It's like that way you can have it connected to power as much, and if someone trips on the cable, it'll just right out of the computer, and the cable doesn't get damaged, the port doesn't get damaged, and you can just like pick the cable back up and just magnet it back onto the side of the computer and keep going. And it doesn't tug the computer off the desk as well. That's another thing. Yeah. MagSafe was a great thing, and I'm glad that they somewhat like returned it to form for the iPhone because that was neat. Like I like having a wireless charger that just snaps onto the back of my uh phone. I don't have to find the spot on the back for it. It just finds itself. It just clicks right on. So and it charges faster than a lot of the wireless chargers that I have two wireless chargers, one on my desk and then like one that kind of just got replaced by my MagSafe. So, but
Okay,
tracking back to the ecosystem as a whole, like yeah, I love all the integration it has, and I'm
use
not
the second one, not the first one,
yeah.
on this that I just sent you.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I have a file for it already.
Oh well,
I just don't have it on my iPad at the moment, which is why I
wow.
just switched it to the background thing for the thumbnail for right now.
Oh well, I'm just giving you a copy because fuck you. Me.
Um, but as I was saying, like I enjoy the Apple ecosystem, and I I I've trust this brand like their uh stronghold on privacy, like I admire. They like have a cutthroat philosophy that people's data is their own, and they're even getting into disputes with their app developers right now because they're with one of the new iOS updates and iPad OS updates. They like have to make the developers comply with the user can choose whether or not they're tracked across the web apps that they're like have on their device. And a lot of the developers are mad. There's a lot of them that are complying, and a lot of them that are agree. It's like, okay, I guess the user can choose whether or not we're tracking them or not. But Facebook, oh my God, there's a huge legal dispute between Apple and Facebook right now because Mark Zuckerberg's just like, no.
Well, express. Big company says no.
Well, most of what Facebook does is tracking and stuff like that, and their business uh their business model is based on tracking users, what they like, what they dislike, and presenting ads every like so many posts on their timeline for things that are relevant to their likes and not relevant to their dislikes. And like honestly, it's a pretty solid system for their ad and their ad revenues. And that's most of what keeps Facebook as a free service. So I can see where Facebook's coming from, but at the same time, Apple's like principle is the user's data is their own. It's like,
Right, but the problem is, big companies like Facebook here a while back had a problem with they were getting caught selling that information, which is why
well, that's
Apple
part of what like
goes,
that's how they
yeah,
do. That's how ads work.
yeah,
Like that it's like a lot of people like go crazy when like companies and stuff like track their web browsing like history and then like sell that information. It's like that's how those companies make money. That's how those ads work. Like anytime you see an ad for something that you actually might like and you click on it and you get something that you like end up really liking, that's all because someone sold your information. Like as horrible as it sounds, like that's how ads work on the internet. Like they
yeah.
track you, they find out what you like, what you're into, and then they serve you ads based on what you might actually buy. So as malicious as it sounds, and like as malicious as it has like been taken quite a few times, that's just how that's just how ads and stuff work. Like that's how that works on the internet. Like, I don't like it. Not a big fan of it. In fact, when like the toggle comes up for apps to track me on my phone and stuff, I say don't ask not to track. Like I'm siding with Apple on the my device is my own. Like my stuff's my own. Like I
Yeah.
don't need to be served relative ads. If I want to find something, I'll look it up.
To be
Like I
honest,
don't need to
ads
be
are just
served ads
annoying.
that way.
So the less
Yeah.
ads, the better.
Yeah. But the downside of that is like if enough people choose not to be tracked for ads and then not enough ads are relevant for enough users, so
They
they're
gotta
not
rely.
making their advertising money, they're gonna have to start charging for Facebook.
Well, not only that.
And other social medias, like they're gonna have to like it might not be that much of a like a monthly fee or weekly fee or something like that, but they're gonna have to charge because like they won't be able to make money otherwise.
Right, and that's the thing. Then you have to rely on people word of mouth to make their money, especially the companies that are putting those ads out there trying to sell stuff.
Yeah. All in all, like it's not that I disagree necessarily with the business practice of buying and selling like personal preferences by users on the internet. It's just like the extent that some people go through with those like data collections and stuff. It's like, okay, y- you're like, if someone's tracking me across the internet and stuff like that, like there's sometimes that I search for obscure things for someone else. And like yeah, because I don't know. There's a particular topic that I once searched that you and Ryan were both taken back that was in my search history somewhere. And it was for someone else. It was for something weird. It was just
I
an
don't
off
remember.
chance thing.
I don't
It
remember.
like I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat. Well, actually, I will. I will text it to you because there's other people in that server that might see.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Hold on. Speaking of that. Hmm.
there, I texted it to you. Don't say it out loud. That was just for context.
Oh. Yeah, but that's a Cards Against Humanity thing. Like that didn't really bother it. That wasn't like
No, that was before I ever played Cards Against Humanity. Like that was just a thing that like was just yeah, the situation was so weird and stuff like that, but like I was the only one with the device to look up something like that at the time. So it was yeah. But yeah. And it wasn't even for like my enjoyment, it was just for like just it was so random. I don't even know how to explain it honestly. But
okay.
that's in my web search history somewhere. And I don't want sites and stuff tracking that because then they can advertise all sorts of weird things that I don't want.
All sorts of random things.
Yeah, all sorts of really, really bad things.
Really, really, really bad.
So I'm just on the side of like privacy and stuff. So and that's one of the reasons that I support Apple and the like the security of it. Like it's a closed source software. A lot of people enjoy open source softwares. OBS is an open source broadcasting software. So uh like I have like use for open source softwares. It's just like my phone and my tablet and stuff like I prefer to have on a closed source software. And that level of security and the level of privacy that Apple provides is one of the reason or one of the biggest reasons that I choose Apple products on top of the fact that they have fantastic cameras on all their phones and like they usually lead a pretty high standard in the smartphone industry for their cameras. It's just and that and like I don't know how many times when I had an Android phone, I would look up an app and it's like this app is not compatible with your device. I'm like, for fuck's sake. With
Yeah.
with iOS devices, they're all formatted. They're all like they're like unless there's like unless it's like a game that has a certain amount of processing capability, like threshold. Like some older devices aren't supported for it anymore, but that's understandable. Like even if you were able to download it, it just wouldn't run properly. It wouldn't be enough. That device wouldn't be enough. And most of those are like 6 year and older devices, so that's not that big of a problem. So as long as you have like a not too old Apple device, everything on the App Store is going to be compatible for your phone because all of them are in mind because the hardware manufacturer is the software manufacturer. And that's one of the reasons like the only Android device I ever really respected above all was the Google Pixel. Like Google, they probably outsourced most of like the actual hardware manufacturing, but like they sold this hardware. They oversaw the manufacturing of this software of this hardware. Like they it's their phone, and then Android OS is their software, so it's optimized for that device. So if I were to ever get an Android, it would probably be a Pixel of some sort. If not, a Samsung because like they've been in the game for so long, they usually are pampered with Google's attention on uh compatibility. But other than that, any other Android is absolute trash in my eyes. Like I don't care how well known the hardware manufacturer is. I have seen so many Android devices that are just not formatted properly, not efficient because the software was not made with the hardware in mind. They were just slapped in there like, okay, here you go. There's your software. Go. Yeah. It's like, do you care about our inner workings and our like functionality of our hardware? They're like, nope, here's your Android OS. Have fun. Like, what? And like you could get that same argument with like computers, but computers have been around long enough that like, and you usually build your own to do the satisfactory job that you want, and Windows is usually optimized to run on pretty much any kind of computing format. But y- like the pre-built like little laptops and stuff like that, sometimes they're not properly optimized and like you start running into issues there. Um Windows phones were a flop and are discontinued because like they just did not know what they were doing with that. So on Microsoft's end, it's not any better than
Google
Android.
Glasses. That's all I gotta say. Google Glasses.
Google Glasses was a neat concept, and there are a lot of rumors that Apple are going to try to do a similar thing because like Microsoft's tried it, Google's tried it, like, and a lot of people speculate that the glasses concept of a smart device is the next step in the wearables. And there's a lot of firm believers that smart glasses are going to replace smartphones and all the smart devices altogether because it's like it's on your face. Why you need to hold the device anymore if what you can just look at is right in front of your eyes, integrated into the very surroundings that you see. And that's a valid point. I'm like, yeah. And augmented reality, which is basically what it's founded upon, I support augmented reality all the way. Like I love integrating digital and real world visuals together in like an experience. Like I love that. I love that more than virtual reality. Like virtual reality, you're completely encapsulated in software. All you can see, all your entire surroundings are completely digital, and you're completely unaware of your outside surroundings. That is that that has caused so many people running into walls, tripping over chairs, hitting desks, like just falling down, getting motion sickness. Like VR is cool, no doubt. Having that kind of immersive experience, great. But the lack of knowing about your actual physical surroundings during the experience is enough to deter me from uh like jumping all in with VR. I'd rather have an AR headset than I'd have a VR headset. Now if one did both, awesome, cool. I'd probably be using it for AR a lot more than I would VR, but at least I'd have that option there to be like, okay, if I want to fully immerse myself, if I want to sit in this chair, not move anywhere, and have a completely digital experience where I don't have to worry about bumping into anything or falling over something, then sure, encapsulate me in software for a little while and like I'll be back in normal reality shortly. But yeah, I've always liked AR more than VR, and my opinion on that is not going to change.
So here's my question for you. What about, seems how you brought this up, what about the idea concept that Futurama puts out for their internet? Have you seen
You're gonna have to
Futurama?
refresh my mind on this.
So anytime they want to access the internet, like for big purchases and shit like that, they used to put on like heads, like full on VR suits, basically, boots, gloves, helmets, the whole deal. But it completely immersed them in it, so their bodies stayed in the same position.
As long as you don't have to pay attention to your surroundings to like, because you don't have to bump into anything. If your body's completely still and your mind can control everything that you're doing in the VR space, I find that to be an actual viable version of VR. Um, because it eliminates the biggest pet peeve that I have with it. But we're not at that state yet. Like, and I'll always prefer AR because like Yeah, VR where you just lay down and then you're just completely in a virtual world is a neat concept. I like having the ability to interact with digital interface within my actual surroundings, and I can go somewhere, I can do things, and I can have a on display like stuff. Imagine if like something like they integrate like games or whatever into it. It's like, okay, let's say you have an AR headset, and you have a game, boot it up. Imagine Pokemon Go. Imagine your buddy Pokemon that you can literally see walking around when you're out and about.
Yeah, but I can't make it like actually battle and shit like that.
Like you can use your phone in tandem with a smart device. Like a lot of smart glasses are based solely like their intention is to replace mobile devices that you have in your pocket or whatever, yes. But like right now they're based on it. Just like the Apple Watch is based on the iPhone and like you it's barely a device on its own. So it's very much tethered to your phone. So it would be based on your phone. So like if you wanted to battle someone, you could pull out your phone, it would integrate with your glasses display, and if you wanted to battle someone, like you can initiate that on your phone and then you can literally watch the battle in front of your face.
True. I mean,
Wh-
at that point,
Whether it would whether
Pokemon
you're
would
doing
probably
it
be a
at
real thing.
close range with another person and like you can see their Pokemon come out of their phone or something like that or some aspect, or if it's long distance and like you just get an avatar as a visual representation of them. Like I think that would be very neat.
I think that'd be very neat, but the problem is, I think that there would be actual Pokemon trainers at that point.
I
you know,
mean, you can't really make money off of that, so like they'd be homeless. So
well, I
yeah, no.
mean, technically in the game you technically are, unless you go back to your mommy's house.
I mean, there's no one stopping you in those games from going back to your mom's house.
Exactly.
So Ash just apparently hates his mom.
No, he doesn't hate his mom. He video chats his
He's
mom.
had ample opportunity to go back home and see her, and he's done nothing in the last 20 years to do that.
Yeah, but he's also like what, 12 years old.
Yeah, 12-year-old for 20 years, you know.
He was 10. He was 10 in the beginning, but after 10 years, they said, okay, we're gonna make him a year older.
Yeah, it's nuts, but that's a whole like that spawns a whole bunch of conspiracy theories and stuff like that between like he's in a coma is what's going on here like yeah.
He's got the
But
opposite.
we're not
He's got the Benjamin Button disease, except for he just never ages from 10.
uh well, we're not gonna dive into those theories and stuff right now. But like, what I'm saying is like, it'd be cool experience that like when you're playing Pokemon Go, like you can actually see your Pokemon run around, follow you. You can see Pokestops on the corner physically.
Like, don't get
Like,
me wrong, that stuff would be awesome. That would be the coolest thing ever. I'd probably play Pokemon Go more.
yeah,
But
like that kind of experience in like AR games and like that. And if you want to know the weather, you could just be like, "Hey Siri, what's the weather like?" Boom, and like it just shows it in the corner of your vision in a convenient spot that's not blocking your vision or anything. You don't even have to get your phone out of your pocket. You don't have to look at your watch. Nothing. It's just there.
right, and it's cool. Like, I'm not saying that wouldn't be awesome, but at this day and age, how fucking expensive would that be?
Extremely, extremely. Like new technology is always extremely expensive, and like especially when it's still in development. Like it is still like a very much a baby technology, and it would be like a lot of early adopters are rich and they put forth the like expensive prices, so there's a market for it. Like there's like enough people will get the like device and then it'll eventually become more affordable as time goes on, but that's just how technology works. That's how AR was ridiculously expensive. The first, not AR,
Okay,
VR headsets were
the
ridiculously
the
expensive when they
original
first came
Google
out.
glasses
Yeah.
came out in 2013.
Yep.
and costed $1,500.
Yep.
Now,
And they're still developing this type of
yeah, they're
technology.
still
They're still
developing.
trying to give it a go.
There's
It,
yeah.
like these are like these are considered the prototypes, the failed projects, the we got it close and it's usable what we're wanting. And that's fine. But like going back to VR, when it first came out, there was like just the Oculus, and it was like ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah, but now they're like 20.
Now,
Now they're like $20
no, not like $20. No, there's still quite a few $100s, and
for a good
PlayStation VR headset's a couple $100. But you
for
can get like
good high quality VR systems. There are
yeah,
$20
there's
ones that are just trash.
yeah, like there's the ones that you clip your phone into, which are neat, and there's a lot of different cool experiences you can have with that, and those are pretty cheap, and that's a good entry level into VR in general.
And say, don't you have one that has like earbuds in them?
Yeah, I have a little. I that was a $15 holiday special, and it's a very much of not very name brand. It was a very generic brand one. I just thought like, hey, that's something that I can just give it a try, like something to do. And the thing is, like, there's if I can isolate a few decent games that run well with like my PlayStation controller, I could pop into that and like have a good old time. Most of them are just like driving experiences, mazes, or like spooky haunted house things. So the options are limited right now, especially on iOS because like the market for VR is a lot smaller on for Apple users than it is for Android users. With with the advent of Google Cardboard, which is just a like I don't know if you know what Nintendo Labo is,
I do
but it's
not.
essentially the okay. So these are cardboard cutout things that you fold into things for use. So like Labo is like you can get a steering wheel and stuff like that folded out of sorry, out of cardboard components. And like they have other accessories, they little backpacks, stuff for the arms game or whatever. They've got several different things. But it's made out of cardboard. You literally punch it out of stuff and like you fold it together, and it's a thing. They did that. Uh, the Google did that before with a VR headset. They called it Google Cardboard, which obvious name. That's what a lot of like VR mobile experiences are based off of. It has one point of interaction. It has little things, little button on it that like the thing interacts with, and that's how you do pretty much anything when it comes to Google Cardboard. Um, the Samsung Galaxy Gear headset was probably the more advanced mobile thing because if I remember correctly, it was actually an actual headset that you used apart from your phone, but you still linked it to it. Uh, and it actually had like little remotes with it. So that's kind of the in between the slap the phone in the headset and go kind of deal versus like your normal VR headsets that you hook up to computers and consoles and stuff. That's kind of the in between. I I was able to have a friend that had a Galaxy Gear headset and I was able to try it out and it was actually pretty decent experience. It had some buttons on the side that you can use for basic interactions. It had remotes or whatever. He didn't know where they were at the moment, so like my experience was very limited. But it was a great headset. It fit very comfortably, and the quality of it overall was just pretty damn good. Uh, yeah. But like VR is still being worked on. Like it's very much a consumer product now, and it's very much of widely available. And a lot of people have accepted the VR as it is as a finished product, but they're still tweaking it. They're still adding to it. They're still trying to improve it. Um, so it's still very much developmental product. And then AR on top of that is even more so because like it's one thing to just pop things in on lenses and like for user interface, and it's a different thing to map the environment around you. And one of the biggest advancements in having mobile AR is the LiDAR scanners on the back of the iPad Pros from the last couple years and the iPhone 12 series. I don't think it's on the iPhone 11 series. Nope, not on my 11. So, I think it might have been on the 11 Pro, if anything. But yeah, if you didn't notice, like on the back of those devices, there's like a small black dot next to the cameras or whatever. That's a lidar scanner. What a lidar scanner is, it's a depth of field mapping instrument. Um, Before they started appearing on iPads and iPhones, they were pretty much exclusively used for NASA and mapping environments for rovers. So they're taking some obscure technology to put into like AR and stuff. So right now, it improves AR gameplay for some games like the Pokemon Go when you use the AR lens, like the Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery app, like and other various AR games are slightly improved by adding this technology. They haven't fully utilized the technology yet. The Amazon and some other stores or whatever like have the option to view products in AR, so you can see what your product that you are going to order will look like in your home before you even get it. So you can like move furniture and stuff according to be like, oh, I want this bookshelf. Slap it into AR, see where you're going to put it, make sure you have a space big enough for it before it even arrives. That's very useful. They use lidar to improve the depth mapping for that and actually have things in real space, like look like they're in real space. And yeah, and they've done leaps and bounds with the lidar so far. It's just like they're definitely gonna have to have that in like smart glasses in the future, because otherwise the digital mapping around them is not going to be as accurate as they would want them to be.
But anyways, I can hear Alex starting to wake up, so we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Okay, we're past the 1 hour threshold, so
Yep.
I'm satisfied with the length of this podcast.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, until next time, if you like this video or any others, please be sure to like, subscribe. Our podcast is every Sunday. We are going to try to put up regular content. We will see what happens. We are trying.
And we might end up having to like
Pre-record.
pre-record episode these on our phone, maybe. I don't know.
We'll
We'll
figure it
we'll
out.
figure
We'll
something
figure
out to
something
get
out.
the
But
podcast out every week. But yeah.
until next time, guys, I'm Shadow King. He's Techie. He's a dick. We'll
No,
talk to y'all later. Be sure to check out my Twitch channel as well as Techie's YouTube and Twitch as well. I'm trying to get him to use Twitch more. But until next time, guys, I'm Shadow King. He's Techie.